new biotechnology laboratory at the Crimean General Hospital claims to be working on the application of genetic techniques for diagnostic and therapeutic purposes. They claim the study and development of modern genetic strategies. They are also working on new drug models to investigate human diseases and test new therapies. After the recent dramatic geopolitical events with the Russian invasion and the conquest of Ukraine's Crimea, heated conflicts emerged. Political and military problems have been solved in one way or another, but at the state level, problems have emerged. Problems with the health and life of the Crimeans themselves have suddenly emerged. What happened? In the West, most hospitals have introduced advanced techniques of gene therapy and are trying to find new methods of treatment. But these treatments sometimes require a full understanding of the patient's family history in order to design or provide the appropriate medical treatment. The gene technology used in these cases offers enormous potential benefits ranging from understanding and characterizing genomes, diagnosis of disease, gene therapy, the production of interconnected drugs and vaccines. These days, a former inhabitant of Crimea living abroad is gravely ill. His condition is extremely rare but very serious. He has just visited in his new country, now living a large hospital which applies innovative medical treatment techniques and carries out extensive research especially for his healing. The doctors at the research hospital there, after much scientific effort and advanced research, finally managed to isolate the gene that was responsible for the disease. But in order to find a more precise treatment for his disease, they asked for more information about his family medical history. That is, they requested the analysis of the entire gene sequence to determine the individual treatment. The difficulty, however, is that the rest of his family lives in the now occupied Crimea. The authorities did not just cut off all communication between the other Ukrainian institutions, but also with other institutions abroad. They do not work with the rest of the world on any number of issues, one of which is genetics. Let us assume that they were not careful to stop the medical cooperation with the rest of Ukraine after the Russian intervention. The biotechnology lab in the General Hospital has played an important role in the issue of treatment and cooperation. Primarily because it secretly constructs a lethal genetic sequence as a biological weapon, forcing it to refuse cooperation with external institutions. They may be afraid of foreigners discovering their secret activities. The foreign Western hospital, where the former resident of Crimea is now being treated, wanted to know the patient's medical genetic history. Therefore, they asked the Crimean health authorities to complete the proposal to process relevant information. They sent their own physician to Crimea to talk to his Russian colleague. The meeting was made possible and defined in the biotech laboratory. The physician arrived in time and started outlining the situation. The issue of genetic cooperation and the patient's family history is on the table.
I have a couple of questions before we begin. Can you tell me if the current system that works here is concerned with Crimean residents living abroad or not?
I don't understand. I am a little bit confused with the question. What do you mean by that?
Look, if one of the former residents of Crimea living abroad asks for help, is there any way we can cooperate with you to save his life? To be more precise, in the event that this person gets sick and the doctors at the hospital abroad ask for the cooperation of his family members who live here, would you allow that?
Can you be more precise? What exactly might they wish to exchange information?
I mean medical information so that doctors determine or specify a safe treatment for him. It's about access and treatment of the patient's family's medical information here in Crimea. I repeat, would you permit it?
Okay, I understand now what you mean, but tell me why this patient is doing this since we have our own hospitals. Why bother?
I do not object to you, in fact, there are good hospitals here. But in this case, I'm talking about Ukrainian immigrants who are now living abroad and dealing with a health issue. What I'm saying is that the current local attitude may or may not endanger the other former residents of Crimea who live there. I don't know exactly.
I still don't understand what you're trying to say. However, I believe that those who are seriously ill should return to their homeland to find their appropriate treatment and restore their health. Tell everybody to return to the Crimea. On the other hand, I believe that those who prefer to live far from home, allow themselves to do so, but at their own risk.
I may have been misinterpreted. What I want to say is that if you here do not cooperate in the field of genetic information, you may also put in danger the inhabitants of Crimea as well. Once again, this is the last time. Will you work with the rest of the world to find good medicines for your ill compatriots, yes or no?
He got no answer because the Russian official suddenly got up, left the room and disappeared. At this point the visitor realized that Russian politicians also have control over medical issues through the biotechnology lab here. Perhaps he has come to a place where the Russians are secretly preparing something very bad. Personnel may not like to have contact and communication with the outside world, fearing the revelations of their secret work. But the unexpected conclusion is that health politics might become a serious key factor in the solution of geopolitical problems.